Welcome to this Ignite Hub video. Today Emily will explain the current girls section of our plan.
The second section is about current girls, coloured orange in the R Plan spreadsheet. This section shows you information about the current active girls in units, districts, divisions and counties. You can see how many active girls there are in comparison to unit capacity, the number of girls old enough to move to the next section, and identify which units have spaces currently. There is also a column that predicts the future number of spaces by taking the unit capacity and the number of girls moving to the next section. This isn't a perfect calculation and works best when waiting lists and unit capacity are accurate and up to date. This is also where you can find how many girls are waiting to join. You can see girls on the existing waiting list, so current members moving section, the new waiting list, which are new members waiting to join, as well as separate columns to show eligible and ineligible inquiries, so those will be too young to join. The first column in this section, unit capacity, shows how many young members each unit can take. This figure is manually entered into each unit's Go record. If this isn't filled in, the report will just assume that it's your current number of active girls is your capacity, and this is shown as grey here. So it's really important that capacity is filled in for each unit. The next column shows the number of current active young members whose main role is with that unit. For example, if a ranger's main role is young leader, they wouldn't show in the main role only column for the ranger unit. This ranger would appear in the next column, showing active young members with any active role. This would give you the full picture of the number of active young members in each unit. We then move on to young members on the waiting list, starting with the existing waiting list. This shows young members who are current members and the correct ages to move sections. For example, existing rainbows on the waiting list for a brownie space, or those moving units within the same section. Following this is the column on new members on the waiting list. These are young members who are joining guiding for the first time, who are the correct age for their section. On Go, this is marked as waiting list new. We can then see the number of young members old enough for the next section. This is a snapshot from when our plan data is collected, which shows the number of girls who are old enough to move to the next section. Our plan is really useful for you to see at a glance which units have space now or will have space in the future. The current number of spaces seen here calculates the number of spaces available based on the unit capacity and the current active members column. This is why having unit capacity filled in correctly is so important. The colours give you an idea at a glance which units have space, the green ones, which units have no spaces, the orange ones, and the oversubscribed units, which are the blue ones. Moving on to future spaces available, this will show how many spaces will be available in the future based on the previous columns. These are colour coded in the same way, with green spaces being available, orange full to capacity, and blue being oversubscribed. This is really useful to see which areas might need to open new units, as you'll be able to see how oversubscribed units are. The final two columns look at inquiry information. First, those who are eligible to join, so the correct age here, and then those who are not eligible, so too young or too old for their section. These columns look at inquiries at all stages, so new submitted, contacted, waitlist new, and meeting arranged. This is useful to compare to the waiting list column, back over here, so that you can see how many inquiries are not moved over to the waiting list. These columns aren't part of the calculation for future number of spaces, so it's important to move inquiries onto the waiting list as soon as possible to ensure these calculations are as accurate as possible.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. We would love to hear your thoughts, so please fill in the feedback form on the Ignite Hub webpage.